because again, they didn't do anything bad, but did they do anything spectacular? I think I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and give them the A-, but they're at like the 90 of the A-, and the Browns were at like the 93 of the A-. Dan O'Shea,
B+.
All right.
Yeah, I had them at B+, A-. I'll say B+. I think I'm leaning that way anyway, so yeah, B+.
All right. And B+ for the Ravens. That brings us to the Steelers. Don't even need to go over their draft picks. They suck. F. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. First round, pick 24. One of those, any type of positions from Alabama. Najee Harris, the running back from Alabama. Round 2, pick 55, Pat Freiermuth, tight end from Penn State. He's my boy too. Round 3, pick 87, Kendrick Green, the center from Illinois. Good pickup. Round 4, Dan Moore, the offensive tackle from Texas A&M. Round 4, Buddy Johnson, the linebacker from Texas A&M. Round 5, Isaiah Loudermilk, who is a very good player. Probably should have been drafted in the 3rd round, in my opinion. Also, I hate commenting on people's names, but that second H in his name just annoys me. Round 6, Quincy Roche, linebacker from Miami. Round 7, Trey Norwood, safety from Oklahoma. Round 7, Presley, not Percy Harvin, the punter from Georgia Tech. All right, so their last 3 picks, I really don't like. Drafting a punter, drafting Trey Norwood, and drafting Quincy Roche. Not a fan of any of them. I don't like drafting punters. Kickers, I think, are much more important to the game than punters are. So if you drafted a kicker, that's one thing. But punters, I don't think that they're worthy of drafting. Loudermilk, in my opinion, huge steal in round 5. Buddy Johnson, I'm so-so on him. He was good enough. Not a huge fan of his. However, Dan Moore Jr., the tackle from Texas A&M, he is very good. He is going to be a monster. He probably won't get starting time. It's the Steelers, so maybe he will, because their offensive line is a shell of what it was even last season. So maybe he'll get starting time right away, but he is the future of the offensive line for the Steelers. Kendrick Green, the center from Illinois, also like him a lot. Obviously, I love my boy Pat Freiermuth. Come on. And then Najee Harris. Yeah, they seem to like their Penn State tight ends in Pittsburgh. It makes sense because of the Pennsylvania thing. They had Jesse James, now they've got Pat Freiermuth. I think he'll be, a solid tight end for them. Sometimes they're hit or miss whether they like to use the tight end. And Najee Harris, obviously, home run pick there. He's so good. I just don't think that he should have still been on the board by the time the Steelers were drafting. But the obvious thing is to draft him. If he's there when you're picking and you need a running back, draft him. Don't be stupid. My biggest question on all of this, and I hope this isn't clouding my judgment. Do you really trust Dwayne Haskins to be your fucking quarterback next season? I do not. Why did you not draft a quarterback?
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to have a knock, that's a fine one. Big Ben does look a hell of a lot better in preseason so far. Way more, zip on his throws.
He's lost a lot of weight. He's got more energy.
Yeah, and that's really important, especially as like an older QB, and he was always known for his escapability because he could, kind of break tackles because he's bigger and harder to pull down than you expect.
Escapability, his ability to lower the shoulder into you, like.
yeah. Him being in, potentially the best shape that we've seen him in a long time. I think is only going to add to that. What he loses in weight, he's going to have a little bit more quickness and probably more durability.
Yeah, even if he's not any quicker, he's without a doubt going to have more energy late in the season. That is huge. I think that is more important than him gaining any little bit of speed, is the fact that he's not going to tire out games 12 through 17.
Yeah, and there's just a correlation. I don't know about in the NFL, but in real life between losing weight and being injured less, and it seems to hold up. So I'm pretty excited to see what they can do. They very, very obviously went full on win now, in my opinion, which I don't mind because Roethlisberger's at the tail end of his career right here.
Didn't he say this
more and retire? He's been considering retirement for a couple of years.
Didn't he say this was his last season, no matter what? Or did I make that up?
I don't remember. I'd be interested to see, how he feels now, being in better shape and being back to mostly full health. Hard to say if he'll ever be, fully healthy again with all the injuries he's had, but. We'll see how he feels after this year in better shape and with a team that seems fully, built for him to take full advantage of. He's got really solid receivers that we saw break out last year with Chase Claypool and Deontay. And then, they add Najee Harris, who's possibly, the best running back in the draft. They add, as you said, your boy, Pat Freiermuth, who I absolutely love.
Here's where
for Fantasy this year, and both redraft and Dynasty. So, again, look at him.
I'm going to cut you off for a minute, and I hate that I'm going to say this. They should have passed on Pat Freiermuth and drafted Kyle Trask. That's what they should have done.
For future planning, yes, but I actually have no problem with it because they are trying to win right now. Freiermuth has good hands. He's not the best blocker, but they don't need the best blocker. They've got a solid line. Ben's MO has been to get the ball out quickly, and that's what they're going to continue to do. They've got all the guys that can do it now. They've got a much improved running game. They did address the line somewhat. They got Kendrick Green as their center. He's a little small, but from everything I've heard, he's he plays nasty and is not to be trifled with.
I prefer my center small because if you have good guards and good tackles, that center shouldn't need to be blocking anybody at the first level. You need them second level hitting a linebacker, and having a smaller center gives you better speed to be able to get there before a running back does. I prefer a smaller center, honestly.
Yeah, and then they got Dan Moore as a run-blocking tackle.
Fucking love it.
Very solid. Maybe they could have hit the line first before getting Freiermuth, but I don't think their line was that bad last year, and I think they did add some pieces. They needed to address defense after losing Steven Nelson
and Bud Dupree.
They lost another corner.
They also lost Bud Dupree.
Right. And they didn't replace them, which might come back to bite them.
Not with my guy Isaiah Loudermilk rushing the passer. There ain't going to be time for that ball to get to no corner.
It's possible. He looks pretty good.
Dude, he's so good. He's so good.
I know a lot of people hate him for some reason. I don't really get the hate. I guess he was taken a little bit earlier than he needed to be, but
he should have been drafted in the third round. He's so good.
We'll see. I'm interested to see that play out because I saw a whole lot of analysts saying that was a bust pick, terrible pick, worst pick of the Steelers draft and stuff like that. So people are strongly against him. So I'm going to be following that because I don't think he's that bad. I don't understand the hate. I thought he looked solid.
Did they see Buddy Johnson? Jesus Christ.
They got Roche in the sixth, some depth at linebacker. So they definitely went full offense, and that's what they're banking on to make up for some defensive losses. So it'll be interesting because I think they could have probably addressed corner. I didn't love it. They could have gotten a quarterback at some point in the draft. They didn't have to go for it in the first 3 picks. Like they could have easily taken those 3 guys and still gotten someone in the 4th.
There was really after Davis Mills there and Kyle Trask, there's such a huge fall off. There's no one worth taking. Kellen Mond I don't think he's going to be very good. You know, and then outside of him, it was just like a real crapshoot at quarterback.
Yeah. So I didn't love it. I didn't hate it. I thought it was solid. Very obvious what they were doing. Again, going full win now on offense. We'll see if not addressing the defense comes back to bite them, which I think it will. I think they'll make playoffs. But depending on who they face, they could have a first-round exit because their corners cannot keep up. So we'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So, grade. I don't love their draft. I really like 2 players. So I'm struggling between a B and a B+. I think, well, drafting a punter just brings it. It's a B.
I get like it's your last pick, and you know it's a guy that you're like, we kind of need this special teams, and we don't want to go bid on a punter, but like you could have gotten better value at a more important position for sure.
Yeah, tell that to the Lions, whose 53-man roster doesn't include a fucking kicker.
Right. I mean, that comes back to bite good teams, though, not having a good kicker. That will bite you right in the ass. It's certainly a piece you need, but it's not something you have to necessarily draft. You can get UFAs. You can trade for one. You can find one off the freaking street sometimes if you're lucky.
I mean, I get it. So, if it was a kicker, like an actual kicker, someone that does kickoffs and scores points and shit, okay. But a punter, just get me 30 fucking yards. Just get them 30 yards away. If you can't get a 30-yard punt off, then you're not an NFL punter. Oh, that's all I need. Just 30 yards. Give me 30 yards, please. And that's... You don't draft a punter.
Yeah. That between that and a couple other things where I felt like they wasted some of their picks and didn't really address corner. That brought me down to a B- for them. Again, it was solid. B- is not terrible. It's solid, but
it's better than average.
Room for improvement.
All right, and Dan Beebe, what are you grading the Pittsburgh Steelers to close up our Draftermath 2021?
I think I'll go B- as well. As we said, they didn't really plan for the future at QB, and why draft a punter?
Yeah,
makes no sense.
It blows my mind. Anyways, that's it. That's Draftermath. Look forward to next season. Who do you think's going number 1 overall? Yeah. I'll tell you the answer. It's Sam Howell. The Eagles are going to draft Sam Howell in 2022. Don't even bother thinking about it.
Bold pick. The Eagles are going to be last. Man, love it.
Yup. Eagles are going to be drafting Sam Howell. That's my prediction.
I don't know, man. Tough to say that they'll be worse than teams like, the Lions.
Who have a quarterback.
Do they?
They've got Jared Goff, who went to a Super Bowl.
Again. Do they?
That's the thing. I don't necessarily think the Eagles are going to finish last, but I think they pick first.
Interesting.
Anyways, What do you say we get to our This Week in Sports History? I've actually kind of got two of them, but only one I'm really super excited about. The other one kind